जयो राधा राधिका रमन राधा राधिका रमन राधे। जयो कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जयो कृष्ण बलराम। जयो गौरानिताय 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 जयो गौरानिताय। जयो जगन्नाथ जयो जगन्नाथ जयो बलदेव जयो सुभद्रा। जग श्री श्री राधा राधिकान भगवान की जय, कृष्ण बलराम की जय, गौर निताई की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय।
राधा राधिका रमण राधा राधिका रमण श्री राधे। कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी नयन पथगामी भव तुमे। जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा। श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा। वंदो मोहि सावधान माते वंदो मोहि सावधान माते। याहर प्रसादे भाई हे भवतरियाय। याहर प्रसादे भाय ए भव तरियाय कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय यहाँ होइते कृष्ण प्राप्ति होय यहाँ होइते गुरुमुख पद्मा वाक्य चित्ते ते कौरियाज्ञा गुरुमुख पद्मा वाक्य चित्ते ते कौरियाज्ञा आरना करी मने आशा आरना करी मने आशा श्री गुरु चरणे राति ऐसे उत्तम गति श्री गुरु चरणे राति ऐसे उत्तम गति ये प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा ये प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो ये जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो ये जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशिता दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशिता प्रेमा भक्ति यहाँ होइते अविद्या विनाशयाते प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ होइते अविद्या विनाशयाते वेद गाए हर चरिता वेद गाए हर चरिता श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकेनाथ लोके राजीवाना लोकेनाथ लोके राजीवाना हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छया आहा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छया प्रभुपाद करो दया देहो मोरे पद छया गुरुदेव करो दया देहो मोरे पद छया हे बेयास गुशु त्रिभुवना हे बेयास गुशु त्रिभुवना जय प्रभुपदा 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 श्रील प्रभुपदा प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने करताल कहाँ गई नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे नमस्ते गौरवाणी प्रचार श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा। एक गाड़ी है 4916, बाहर पूरा जाम लगा हुआ है, जिसकी भी गाड़ी है उसे तुरंत हटा लीजिए। 4916 डिज़ायर गाड़ी है, मंदिर के गेट के आगे ही खड़ी है, तुरंत उसे हटा लीजिए। 4916।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Radhika Raman Radha Radhika Raman Shri Radhe. Jayo Radha Radhika Raman Radha Radhika Raman Shri Radhe. Jayo Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jayo Krishna Balaram Balaram. Jayo Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadra Jayo Sudarshana. Jagannath Swami Nayan Pathgami Bhavatu me. Jayo Gauranitai 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 Jayo Gauranitai. Jayo Gauranitai Gauranitai Patit Pavan Gauranitai. Prabhupad 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupad. Jayo Jayo Prabhupad 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupad. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhans Parivarajkacharya Ashtodarshad Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charna Ravind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramhans Parivarajkacharya Ashtodarshad Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Maharaj ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव विंद की जाए. नाम आचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जाए. प्रेम से कहिए श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जाए. मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाए. नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जाए. श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाए. गंगा माई यमुना माई की जाए. वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जाए. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय. श्री श्री राधा राधिका रमन जी की जय. श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम जी की जय. श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय. श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय. यशोदा दामोदर भगवान की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्णा. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री श्री गुरु एंड गौरंगा. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
हमारे साथ साथ गुरु वंदना दोहराइए। हमारे गुरुदेव अध्यात्मिक गुरु के चरण कमल ही एकमात्र साधन है जिनके द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति में सेवा प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। मैं उनके चरण कमल में अत्यंत भक्ति एवं श्रद्धापूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ। उनकी कृपा से जीव भौतिक कलेशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है तथा कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है। मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि उनके मुख कमल से निकले हुए शब्दों द्वारा अपनी चेतना को शुद्ध करूं। उनके चरण कमलों में अनुराग ऐसी सिद्धि है जो समस्त मनोरथों को पूर्ण करती है। वे मेरी बंद आंखों को खोलते हैं तथा मेरे हृदय में दिव्य ज्ञान बढ़ते हैं। जन्म जन्मांतरों से वे मेरे प्रभु हैं। वे प्रेमा भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और अविद्या का नाश करते हैं। वैदिक शास्त्र उनके चरित्र का गान करते हैं। हे गुरुदेव, करुणा सिंधु तथा पतित आत्माओं के मित्र, आप सबके गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन हैं। हे गुरुदेव, मुझ पर दया कीजिए तथा मुझे अपने चरणों की छाया प्रदान कीजिए। आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला हुआ है। कृष्ण कृपा मूर्ति अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन। जमुना तीर बनचारी। यमुना तीर बनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन। यमुना तीर बनचारी। यमुना तीर बनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी भगवान की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। न्यू द्वारका धाम की जय। स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द स्मिथ। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द स्मिथ। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ज्ञान
विराजते
साधीमाना परिधीर महात्मनाम
रसाभिमाना बलिभिर्यथा
योत्माना प्रमदात्माद्युभी
विद्योतमाना प्रमदोत्तमाद्भि
सविद्युदब्रा परिधीर यथा नभः
सविद्युदभ्रा बलिभिर्यथा नभः। भ्रातृष्णुवीर्या परितो विराजते दशाभिमाना बलिभिर्महात्मनाम् प्रमदत्तमाद्भि विद्योतमाना प्रमदोत्तमाद्भि सविद्युदभ्रावलिभिर्यथा नभः Next.
Vajishnuvirya parito virajate
राजेश्वरीर्या परितो विराजते
Dasadimana valivir mahatmanam
लताभिमाना बलिभिर्महात्मनाम्
Vidyotamana pramadotamadjuvir
विद्योतमाना प्रमदत्तमाद्भिः
Savidyudabra valivir yatanabha
सविद्युदभ्रावलिभिर्यथा नभः।
Vajishnuvirya parito virajate
राजेश्वरीर्या परितो विराजते
Dasadimana valivir mahatmanam
लसद्भिमाना बलिभिर्महात्मनाम्
Vidyotamana
प्रमदोत्तम
Pramadotamadjuvir
विद्योतमाना प्रमदत्तमाद्भिः सविद्युदभ्रावलिभिर्यथा नभः प्रमदत्तमाद्भिः भ्रावलिभिर्यथा नभः by the glowing.
Yeah, the Vaikuntha Lokas. The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated, belonging to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord. The ladies also are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions, and all these combined together appear just like the sky, decorated with both clouds and lightning.
So, there is no scarcity of aeroplanes. It is not Nirvishe, zero. There are still, they do not know what is actually Vaikuntha is, or the kingdom of God. And they dismiss everything by declaring zero, without any variety. Nirvishesha Shunyavad. They have no information, therefore zero. But actually there is not. Exactly like this sky, the Vaikuntha sky is there. Like the planets here, there are also planets. As in the sky, outer space, here in this material world, big, there also there are many big aeroplanes running on. Now, how this information is received? When Bhagavad was compiled 5,000 years ago, there is no existence of aeroplane. But how in the Bhagavad the information on aeroplane is there? is men were less intelligent 5,000 years ago, and now they have advanced. Then how a person 5,000 years ago, not 5,000 years, many millions of years ago, the information was there, but from historical point of view, at least 5,000 years ago. So how they give this information of airplane? So how we can say that some 40,000 years ago, what is the Darwin theory? There was no brain.
Ape-like creatures.
So how this nonsense theory can be accepted? According to our Vedic information, from the very beginning, the one person, one living creature was Brahma, the most intelligent person. Not that he developed from monkey. This nonsense theory has killed the human civilization. The intelligence is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the most intelligent person is receiving that, Brahma, and then he is distributing this knowledge. So, knowledge has not developed with the development of the brain of the living entities. That is a wrong theory. Knowledge is already there, and the most intelligent person received it, and it is being distributed still. Therefore, Vedic knowledge is considered to be perfect. And if we take knowledge from the Vedas, then our knowledge is perfect. Now here is the knowledge. What is the purpose?
Purport. It appears that in the Vaikuntha planets there are airplanes also brilliantly glowing, and they are occupied by the great devotees of the Lord, with ladies of celestial beauty as brilliant as lightning. As there are airplanes, so there must be different types of carriages also, like the airplanes, but they may not be driven machines, as we have experienced in this world. Because everything is of the same nature of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, the airplanes and carriages are of the same quality as Brahman. As there is nothing except Brahman, so it should not be misconceived that there is only void and no variegatedness. To think like that is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Otherwise, no one would have such a misconception of voidness in the Brahman. As there are airplanes, ladies and gentlemen, so there must be cities and houses and everything else just suitable to the particular planets. One should not carry the ideas of imperfection from this world to the transcendental world without taking into consideration the nature of the atmosphere as completely free from the influence of time, etc., as described previously.
So, and all other planets, not only within this material world, but also in the spiritual world, there are also varieties of planets. The difference is here the varieties are made of matter, and there the varieties are made of spirit. There are two things, material energy and spiritual energy, that is described in the Bhagavad Gita. The material energy is also one, Mahatattva, but Bahuda, Iva Bhati, Iva Bhati. The one thing is matter. But Bahuda Iva Bhati. What is that?
Bahurupaya Bhavati Maya Bahurupaya.
What is that verse?
Second verse.
Bahurupaya bhat. Maya Bahurupaya. Actually, this is Maya, but Bahurupaya, by the interaction of the three modes of material nature, there are varieties. Similarly, in the spiritual world, although the spirit is one, there are also varieties. Some with there are these three qualities. There it is known. What is that called? No, just I forget. Sammit Sandhini. Sandhini Sammit. That is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are also varieties. So, the Mayavadi philosophers, they have no information of the spiritual world. Therefore, they are thinking that spirit means something void of all these varieties. They cannot conceive that in the variety there can be enjoyment. Here they have got very bad experience of varieties. Therefore, they want to make. Buddha theory is like that. Varieties, varieties, the earth, water, air, fire. So, if this body is made of all these varieties, so you make it nirvan, you kill it or dismantle it to the varieties, just like when anything in this material world, when it is annihilated, it goes. This is our body. Just like when we leave this body, the matter remains there, lump of matter. Gradually, it becomes decomposed and some water comes out. The water goes to the water, the earthly part goes to the earth, the fiery part goes to the fire. In this way, this combination of matter becomes dismantled. That is called Nibbana. Finished. That is Buddha theory. That by chance a combination of material elements has formed this body, and by chance a living force has come out, manifested, and on account of the living consciousness, we are feeling pains and pleasure. So, in order to stop this so-called pains and pleasure, you dismantle this machine. Then there is no more, you become zero, then there is no more pains and pleasure. This is Buddha's theory. The same principle that you have got some pain on your head, so the theory is that break your head. Sometimes I suggested to our Saraswati that you break your head and there will be no pain. So this theory is like that. Instead of mending, this is the lack of knowledge. Mudha. The pains and pleasure. One man in the prison life, he simply suffering so many pains and pleasure. There is no pleasure, simply pain. So he is trying to commit suicide. Sometimes people do that, suicide. They think that if I kill, if I commit suicide, then all these pains and pleasure will be finished. because he has no information that a body is an instrumental to feel pains and pleasure. Actually, I, as a spirit soul, am unattached to it. Atma Maya Riteraj. Atma Maya. It is a creation, temporary creation. So if I get out of this temporary creation and be situated in my own position, then there is no more pains and pleasure. It is simply pleasure. Therefore, Krishna consciousness means to change the consciousness. Now I am conscious of this material combination, this body, mind. Therefore, I am feeling pains and pleasure. And as soon as I am situated in my original consciousness that I am Krishna, Krishna's eternal servant I am, so let me engage in Krishna's service, and then there is no more material pains and pleasure. It is not that a neophyte, when he is engaged in Krishna's service, he is feeling the same pains and pleasure, but that is due to our past habit, consciousness. Just like aeroplane, you come down on the land, sometimes there is dizziness, you think that I am still flying. But there is no more flying. There is stop. Similarly, one who is engaged in Krishna consciousness, his material pains and pleasure has been stopped. But due to our past experience, sometimes we think I am still in pains and pleasure. This is due to our past experience. The same example again, just like the fan is running, you put off the switch, still the fan is running. But actually it is not running. The running capacity has been stopped. But due to the, what is called?
Momentum.
Momentum, it appears that it is running. So a devotee, although sometimes it appears that he is in pains and pleasure, committing something nonsense, that is momentum. In the next part in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Khipram bhavati dharmatma sat shanti nigacchati kontya pradiyanihi namahi bhaktaptanasati. Although we find in a neophyte devotee some bad behavior due to his past experience, so we should not take him as non-devotee. Sadhureva samanta. He is sadhu. If he sticks to Krishna consciousness, and the bad habits which are visible now, it will disappear. It will disappear. So we have to give chance. Because we see some bad habits of a devotee, we should not reject. We should give another chance. We should give another chance. Because he has taken the right thing. But to past behavior, he appears to be again going to the Maya's clutches. So we should not reject, but we should give chance. One may take little more time to come to the standard, but we should give him chance. If he sticks to Krishna consciousness, then very soon all these defects will be disappearing. Khipram bhavati dharmatma. He will be completely a dharmatma, mahatma. Why? Kontya pratijanihi name bhaktapanasati. Anyone who has taken seriously my lotus feet, seriously surrendered, will never be angry. Will never be angry. Although sometimes it appears that he is coming down. So this should be our principle. We stick to Krishna consciousness then everything will be all right in due course of time. So the varieties of life there is. That variety is actual variety. Here it is only Parvati reflection. Here the beauty, just like the beauty is described there, Rajishnu, all glowing. Lasat Viman, Lasat, brilliant. Here, airplane, there is also aeroplane, but not this tin aeroplane. There the aeroplanes are made of jewels and gold. That's brilliant. And their beauty, there also men, women there are. Not that simply men, devotees, no. But these men and women, their creation. Both sexes are there, Radha and Krishna. So, nothing is different from here, but they are permanent, real. Here, everything temporary and false. This is the difference. Everything there is also tree, there is also flower, there is also palaces, there are aeroplanes, there are chariots, there is man, woman, but they are real, and here it is unreal. The same example, the mind, it appears exactly like water. It is not water. It is false. But there is real water. We should not think that because it is false water, therefore there is no water. What is it? That is Mayavaditi. Because here Brahma Sattva Jagan Shankaracharya, only Brahma, impersonal Brahma is fact, and everything, all varieties, they are mitha. No. They have no full information of Brahma. When we get full information of Brahma, the Supreme Brahma, Krishna, is Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita. He is always engaged in celestial, not celestial, spiritual bliss. Ananda Chinmaya. His Lila, his Ras Lila. He is playing with a cowherd boy. But there is no defects or the, what is called, inabilities. There is no such thing. Everything is fact and everything is there. There is Anandama. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. There is Rasa. Here is also Rasa. Here Rasa is not Ananda Chinmaya. This is material. There, everything is real. So Brajishnu bhi parito virajati lasat vimana bodhibhi mahatmana. Those vimanas, aeroplanes, belong to the mahatmana, great liberated devotees. So devotees are not going to be zero. They will have also aeroplanes there, but not this third class aeroplane. As soon as the machine goes wrong, immediately crashing. There is no crashing. Neither there is any necessity of machine because they are spiritual. This like a motor car, a machine, it requires oil, it requires petrol to run. But as we are spirit, we don't require anything. We can run without any arrangement of mechanical. We can experience them. A man is running, not that you have to put some petrol. Of course, we are putting petrol, this food stuff. That is meant for the body. But if the whole thing is spiritual, there is no more necessity of these things, material ingredients. There is no necessity. That they cannot. The aeroplane is also spirit. It is living. It has taken the shape of aeroplane. but it is living. It is not false. Therefore, there is no necessity of this spirit. Simply beautiful aeroplane. And wherever you like, you can go. They're moving in the sky. And they're beautiful women. They're women, they're lightning. Their beauty is so brilliant, glowing, that the women there themselves are lightning. As we find lightning in the cloud, very beautiful. Similarly, when these aeroplanes fly in the outer space of Vaikuntha sky, it looks like lighting in the cloud. Pramada. Uttamadbhi. Uttamadbhi. Here the beauty is also false. Because it is material. A woman is very beautiful. But as soon as the spirit soul is gone, if somebody says that you can take this woman at your home, nobody will like. Nobody will like. Because the real thing is gone. It is false beauty. The same woman, beautiful, everyone is after this, very nice woman. But as soon as the spirit soul is gone, just like dolls, there are very, very beautiful women dolls, and the tailors sorrow, and nobody cares for it. Because everyone knows this is false. Therefore, Shankaracharya says, why you are being attracted by this woman? It is simply a lump of matter. It is simply one lump of matter. Everyone, it is in our experience that a lump of matter is standing, sometimes photograph of a nice woman or the doll of a nice one. Everyone knows that this is false. Nobody is attracted. And therefore, there is nothing material. Everything is spiritual. The body is also spiritual. There is no distinction between body and soul. Everything is one. That we cannot experience now, but we have to get information from the authorized books. Therefore, they are far, far better. There is no question of comparison. The Pramoda Uttamadubhi. Pramoda. The woman's name is Pramada. Pramoda, because as soon as one woman comes before a man, he becomes agitated. Therefore, woman's name is Pramoda. Pramoda. Pramoda means agitates. Kamini, agitates. So, there the Pramoda, Uttama Dubhi, Uttama, Udgata Tama, Tama. This darkness is not there. Saviddut abhra bolibhi jatha nabha. When they fly in the sky, it appears just like lightning in the cloud. These are the descriptions of Vaikuntha planet. So, what is your question? Any question?
I have a question, Divine Grace. You say in Vaikuntha, everything is the same as here in the material world. So there are families. Do children grow to...
There is no children. There is no children because there is no birth. There is no death. There is no question of children. You don't find any description of children.
In the material world, variety is created by the interactions of three modes of nature. The three modes of material nature cause the variety in the material world. In the spiritual world, what are the factors that cause variety?
That some is Sandhini, varieties of Krishna's spiritual energy.
In Krishna Loka, there are children, Krishna and the cowherd boys.
That is also eternal. That is another planet. Eternally, Krishna is playing with the cow as well. Not that these children are being born. They are like, just like in this world also, we see Kumaras, they're eternally child. Kumaras, 4 Kumaras. They are born along with the Brahma, but they're just like a small 4 years old boy. Kumar, Chatushan Kumar. So we get some information only, but we'll see them practically when it goes. You take information only. But it is not varietiless, not the nonsense theory, zero. That is the first. It is not zero. So, any other question? Nibhishe, Sabhishe. There Krishna is dancing always with the gopis. Ananda chinmaya sab pratibhavitavi stavidya eva nijarupataya kala. There everything is expansion of Krishna's own form. Here is also, this is also expansion of Krishna's energy, material energy. And that is, just try to understand like, here, everything is by the expansion of Krishna's material energy. And there, everything is there by spiritual energy. Something made of sugar and something made of dirt. The sugar is always sweet and dirt is always distasteful. That's all. Two dolls, one is made of clay and one is made of sugar. Which one you like? Children? Two dolls, one is made of sugar and another is made of this clay. Which one would you like? Because that doll, wherever you lick up, is sweet. And this doll, made of clay, you cannot lick. That is the only explanation. This Krishna says that Bhumirapa, Aparayam, Apara, these are my inferior energy. Itastu vidhime prakritim para. Beyond this, there is another prakriti, another nature. That is para, superior. As the superior, how I can understand this inferior and superior? That is superior jiva bhuta mahabhava. That superior energy is like jiva, living entity. It's like here the matter is there and the living entity is there. But the living entity is controlling the matter. Controlling the matter. Not the matter is independent. The matter independently cannot become this your tape recorder. When the superior energy, living entity, collects them, applies its intelligence, and converts into a tape recording work. It is nothing but a lump of matter. Only tin and some metal and some paper, something like that. So this superior energy, when it acts on it, then it can work. Therefore, similarly, here this whole material world is made of the inferior energy. Both the energies are of Krishna. They are emanating from Krishna. But one is inferior energy, the other is superior energy. This is the difference between material world and spiritual world. So in the spiritual world, there is no need of making mechanical arrangements, because everything is spirit. There is no need of mechanical arrangement. That we cannot accommodate with our poor brain at the present moment. But simply try to understand that as we find here, superior energy and inferior energy, without the superior energy, the inferior energy has no value. This tape recorder, so long the superior energy is handling, it is giving the desired result. But if you don't handle, if some superior energy, some human being does not tackle it, it is no value, it is matter. It is matter. Out of its own accord it cannot act. But if it was made of spirit, then out of its own accord it can play. There is no need of handling. Just like if I ask you, bring me a glass of water, so immediately the glass of water is here. But if I ask this, give me a glass of water, it cannot. That is the difference between matter and spirit. So in the spiritual world, there is no need of artificial mechanical arrangement. Everything is living force. That is different. And the Mayavadi philosophers, therefore they are called Mayavadi. They are so full that even in Krishna they find difference. That Krishna has got a soul. Just like Dr. Radhakrishna's style. It is not to Krishna the person, but within. He is such a fool that he does not know that there is no within and without Krishna. And he is trying to comment on Bhagavad Gita. He does not know what is Krishna. He is distinguishing, making distinction, just like we have got distinction. I am a spirit soul. I am covered by this matter. Krishna is not like that. If he is covered by matter, then how he can remember? Some 40 millions of years ago he spoke Bhagavad Gita to the sun god. How he can remember? He does not die. He has no material body. Therefore Krishna says, Avajananti mangamura. Those are rascals. They deride upon me as an ordinary human being. Avajananti mangamura. Manasim tanuvasta. Param bhava avajanant. They do not know what is the essence of my position. Therefore they conclude like that. They have got experience that there is superior soul and inferior matter. So Krishna has also got the superior soul and inferior matter, material body. No, Krishna has no material body. Otherwise, how he can remember what he spoke? 40 millions of Arjuna cannot. Vedānaṁ samvidati. He knows past, present and future. Savijñā, Sara. These things are there. So as soon as you also get rid of this material body, you also become like this, like Krishna. Satchidananda Vigraha. Satchidananda Vigraha. So in order to get, that is our original body. In order to get that original body, this Krishna consciousness movement is. So, anything more? Enjoy as much as possible. Let me come 50 miles and take this wild bird toast. Very tasteful. Because the life will be finished, so whatever taste and enjoyment I can enjoy, let me finish it. Because after this body is finished, everything will be finished. But our is not. The body may finish, but our spiritual enjoyment is there if we get our spiritual concept. This is our proposition. We'll get varieties of enjoyment. Chole wale laddu khai sumadhu. There is only store in laddu and kachori in Vrindavan, rabdi, makhan. Krishna is makhan cho, makhan thief. All right.
The Chicago O'Hare Airport was a place where we distributed a lot of books, and we were there day in and day out. And some of the people who were also there day in and day out, the employees, they didn't appreciate our presence there. And some of them were antagonistic even. And some of them, on occasion, caused bodily harm to some of the devotees who were distributing Prabhupada's books. And, in retrospect, I can understand why they were agitated and why we irked them to the extent that we did. But they, of course, had no access to our motivation and what we were really about. In my mind, it was an awkward place for Prabhupada to be coming. There were so many books that had been distributed there, and it was auspicious in that regard, but there were, in ISKCON terminology, there were demons there also. So Prabhupada got off the plane, and I'm thinking, I've got to protect Prabhupada. Who knows? One of these crazy guys here could run up and throw something at him, or who knows what, because they had done things like that to his disciples. And so I was standing next to Prabhupada and kind of protecting him from the crowd in my mind, and walking towards the door to go out onto the curb, and the access kind of funneled down, and then to go through the door, only one person could go through. And here I was like preoccupied with this idea that I'm going to protect Prabhupada and get him through the door safely. And Prabhupada just went like this, with his left arm, when I was standing on his left side. Next thing I could remember, I was at the back of the crowd, everybody's in front of me, and Prabhupada was in the car. And the devotees were ushering him off to the temple. And it was very mystical to me, because I thought, here I was thinking, I'm protecting the spiritual master, and he's showing me I'm protected by Krishna. And I can protect you also.
In Chicago, the airport there is called O'Hare International Airport. And it's spelled O-H-A-R-E. So Prabhupada told his leading book distributor, Tripurari Maharaj, go to the airport manager and tell them that they should rename the airport O Hari Krishna International Airport. And this was an airport in which our book distributors were so aggressively distributing books that every day there was confrontation between the guards at the airport and the book distributors. So the management of that airport hated us. And still Prabhupada made his best book distributor go to the manager, and Tripurari Maharaj went there and said to him very seriously, you should rename your airport O Hari Krishna International Airport. Why did Prabhupada do this? Was he trying to have fun with his disciple? Prabhupada, he took every possible opportunity to somehow push forward the idea of Krishna consciousness. His idea was that everything belonged to Krishna. Everything. He saw everything as really meant to be glorifying Krishna.
In order to help prepare for Prabhupada's arrival, Govardhan, president of Detroit, and the brahmacharis went ahead to Chicago to help fix the temple up a little bit. We had a real crack cleaning crew for Detroit. Govardhan hated dirt. The Detroit temple was always spotless. It had white floors, white staircases. So we came there, and I remember the doors flying open to the vans, floor machines coming out, and everybody got to work and scrubbed the place down, made it really clean. We built a little desk and a seat for Prabhupada. This desk was a sheet of plywood and some 4x4s. I built it. They had a room for Prabhupada, very simple room, just bed, chair, desk. He lived very, very simply there.
I got to wait outside of Srila Prabhupada's door because I was his bodyguard. And every time Prabhupada came out the door, I'd offer my obeisance, his foot would come down right by my face, right? And then it'd go, and I thought, oh, I wanted to get the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotee, because we had just started that Guru Puja program every morning a few months before that, and we were praying the lotus feet of the spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and attain the mercy of Krishna. So I thought, I need those lotus feet. I have to have those lotus feet on my head. But being near Prabhupada was quite an intimidating experience. So they asked to have initiations. They brought us into the room. And I was in such a state, I didn't know what he was saying or what I was doing. I was just very conscientious that I was with a pure devotee of the Lord. As a matter of fact, when I walked into the room, and this was the only time I was probably alone with Srila Prabhupada, I walked in the room, I offered my obeisances, and when I stood up, his eyes were like fixed right on my eyes. And just for a second, I looked into his eyes, and the most incredible thing that ever happened to me with another human being occurred at that moment, in that I had this overwhelming realization that he knew everything about me. And I felt so shameful. I felt like I do not deserve to be in the room with this personality. And it was also, there's no sense in trying to be pretentious, because he knows anyways. So don't try to pretend to be something that you're not. But those eyes, it wasn't like looking at me like you are such a fallen soul, but it was this look of infinite compassion, and almost like he understood my suffering. And all of this happened just like in a megasecond. And then I couldn't look any longer, and I looked down. But I knew, you must bare your soul to the spiritual master. There's no sense in trying to pretend, because you can't cheat the Mahabhagavad. So then Prabhupada gave me the Gayatri Mantra, and then he said, so, are you chanting your 16 rounds? And I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. And he said, and are you preaching Krishna consciousness? I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, I'm a Sankirtan devotee. I go out on book distribution every day. And then he said, always preach Krishna consciousness. And I said, thank you, Srila Prabhupada. And he said, okay. And then I said, I had to muster up all the courage that I had within my being, because I was thinking of those lotus feet. And they were just sitting on the Vyasa, and Prabhupada had his dhoti pulled up to his knees, and his feet were right there. And I said, Srila Prabhupada? And he said, yes. I said, Srila Prabhupada, could I touch your lotus feet? And he looked at me and he smiled and he said, that is not necessary. And I went, Jai Srila Prabhupada, I offered my obeisance. I went out, I felt so stupid. I couldn't believe I asked that question. It was so trite, you know? So I went out and I told Sir and Vaish was there and Pragosh, and they all cracked up and they said, Uday, you are such a nerd. Can't believe you did that.
The first temple in Chicago was on Halsted Street. It was a storefront, and that was run by first Rudra Das and his wife, and then later Bahulasva. That temple closed. At that time, I was temple president in Cleveland, and Bhagavan decided to centralize his zone, so he closed the temple in Chicago and pulled all the different leaders back to Detroit for meetings to try to determine how things would be managed. And I kept saying, you know, how can we neglect Chicago? Chicago is the biggest city in the zone. We can't close Chicago. And then one day, Bhagavan just slammed his fist down and said, damn it, Govinda, just go to Chicago. So we went with a couple of brahmacharis, and then we were collecting and doing some preaching. And then the traveling rock group was kind of disbanded by Prabhupada. And they came to Chicago. So we had a lot more people there. And searching around, we came upon this former YMCA building.
We were in the old YMCA. Actually, it was the old black YMCA from segregated times. And it was a rather rundown building when we got it. We had done a lot of renovations. So one of the main things we did that year was totally redo the gymnasium into a beautiful big temple room with side balconies and a huge altar and everything. And actually, Sri Govinda was the inspiration behind the aesthetics of it, and I had organized the work. And when Prabhupada arrived and first sat on the Vyasasana there and looked at it all, which for the time I think devotees will remember was quite gorgeous, Srila Prabhupada said, only devotees could do this.
There's a special darshan Prabhupada gave us just the library party in Chicago with Satsu Maharaj. It's when we had first started the work in America. We were eager to tell Prabhupada about the success, but we were mostly wanting to hear from Prabhupada how he wanted us to proceed. It was a whole new experience, getting these academics to take the books. So we came in with pens and paper and all ready to take lots of instructions from Prabhupada. And we shared with what we had done so far, asked for guidance, and Srila Prabhupada just simply said, you do your best, and Krishna will help you. And that was it. And at first we were stunned. We were waiting for him to say more. And then we realized, oh, this is a message. Srila Prabhupada's letting us know that he wants it to be done, and that if we just try to do our best, Krishna will give us the intelligence, what to do, you know, and how to do it. It's a message that stuck with me for a long time. When I'm dealing with complex situations, I realize that it doesn't really have to be approached in such a complex way, that somehow if we can just do our best, then Krishna will compensate.
So during the Guru Puja, I remember some brahmacharis, they had developed a kind of boogieing, you know, doing rock dancing. This was going on during Guru Puja. It's all of a sudden, Prabhupada, like a conductor, like a maestro, he just stopped the Guru Puja cold, you know, in an instant. And we're all kind of frozen in place. And then Prabhupada gestures to the picture of the Panchatattva in the distance, how their arms are upraised. And he says, dance, dance like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we're all corrected, you know, because we're all getting into disco dancing, twisting and boogaloo and shingling and, you know, whatever.
The first time that I ever saw Prabhupada was in the morning. He was sitting on the Vyasasana at the Chicago temple. He was giving a lecture about how we all want to see God, but we can't even see the little piece of God, the soul. Otherwise, why would we be crying when some relative has died? And if we haven't seen a piece of God, how can we think that we can see God? I was standing right near the Vyasasana, maybe 2 feet away, and fanning Prabhupada with a peacock feather fan all during the lecture. And I was simultaneously very happy and very disappointed. I was very happy because I realized that hearing Prabhupada there on the Vyasa-san was no different than hearing a tape recording of him. All that time I'd been listening to Prabhupada lectures on tapes, I'd been with him, hearing him, and I felt so happy and so satisfied. But I had wanted something different. I hadn't wanted it to be just the same as a tape recording. I had wanted to get to know Prabhupada, the person. A few